01 Die in Spring. It doesn't matter if the annual salary is in the millions or if the research lab is top-notch. Without me, Carter, could Xander's science have come this far? What truly drives the development of science is not experiments, but ideas. I am such a person, and so is Zane. That's why you need him, right? Laughter echoes in the conference room. Carter stands up, leans on the table, and tosses their contract back to the executives. If the medical genius Zane valued these things, why would he accept Axo Hospital's invitation? Can a hospital offer more than our research institute? What do you suggest, Dr. Carter? I didn't get my doctorate degree. With a smile on his lips that can send chills down someone's spine, Carter glances at the institute's director, asking the question. Give me the file of cabin 607's patient. Let me try. After a round of New Year's fireworks, 2048 officially begins. During the year, Dr. Carter decided to quit school. This area of Imperial Ring Park was just a newly abandoned construction site. The property owner declared bankruptcy, and it turned out they had invested in the emerging industry of protocol technology in Skyhaven. The homeowners formed a group to defend their rights in the construction site. Carter and Zane happened to pass by and saved an elderly man who had a heart attack. After the ambulance took the man away, they sat down in a restaurant for a late-night snack, discussing the trending topic of time, the ethics of applying protocol technology to revive dead cells. At dawn, the door of the restaurant opened again. Zane headed in the opposite direction in the morning fog, and they never saw each other again. Now, vibrant plants have replaced the construction rubble, and Imperial Ring District has been revitalized with the resurgence of Lincoln City. However, Carter believes that no matter how the world changes, Zane will remain the same. He knows this is the path his stubborn junior will take every day for his morning jog. As he strolls through the park, a familiar voice is heard from behind a bush. "But you're a doctor. Please save Pilot." He already passed away. Following the voice, Carter finds Zane squatting next to a crying child by a bench. The boy pulls at Zane's arm. A stray dog lies motionless in front of them. It's not breathing. "Pilot always played with me. I even bought it cookies." Pilot knows. He's very happy, Zane murmurs. He gently pats the child's head. "But I don't want Pilot to die." Carter laughs to himself and walks over to them, protocol in hand. "Hey kid, Pilot can live again with this." He casually joins in on the conversation. Zane looks up, his softened gaze turning cold at the sight of the protocol. He stands up and stares at Carter's smiling face. "Death is part of life. We can't change that." 02. Yesterday, once more. You're still cold-hearted, Zane. The dog also counts as alive, and the poor kid is heartbroken. Carter follows Zane to the restaurant they visited all those years ago, which is now a fast food restaurant. He squints and looks around as if admiring its rebirth. If someone wants a life to continue, how would you know if you can't bring it back? Shouldn't you try first? Carter remembers the frightening look in the child's eyes when he brought the protocol close to the stray dog. Then again, you're right. Most people don't even want to try. Tell me, is the natural law an unshakable moral boundary? Or is it just a comforting phrase people use? His voice drips with sarcasm. "I thought I made it clear," Zane says. He places his phone on the table after ordering breakfast. "I see you haven't changed at all, Carter." No, that's where you're wrong. Xander Sciences has given me a lot of opportunities. Without allowing things to be dismissed, Carter takes out an elegant-looking business card from his bag and slides it across the table towards Zane. "If you had kept going, maybe you would have already broken free from the shackles of the natural law," Carter says. "Zane, your talents are wasted at Axo Hospital. Xander Sciences doesn't want to see a genius like you be forgotten. The evil technology you're insisting on is so last year. No one wants an artificial lump that needs to be charged in the heart now. Protocol tech is the golden brick that will pave the way to the future." Carter is confident. The Xander Sciences Research Institute's logo and the research he's in charge of will easily catch the eye of top experts worldwide. Zane doesn't take the card. Instead, he shifts his gaze to the window. "Hold on to that brick then. If you drop it, your foot won't be the only thing that's hurting. Carter shrugs. He knows moving this iceberg wouldn't be easy. The business card is an opportunity for Zane to reject him. He brings out his trump card. Take a look at this. It's a case from our project, a very rare condition. Carter sends the meticulously prepared medical record of cabin 607's patient to Zane's phone. Zane doesn't move, so Carter reaches out and accepts it for him. The patient's heart surgery is scheduled for next week. His other organs are in such a terrible state that he may not survive the side effects of the treatment. We are at a loss. Why don't you take a look? Knowing Zane can glean insights from abnormal data in the medical record, he doesn't provide any more details. As expected, Zane looks away, furrowing his brow in barely disguised displeasure. Are you unsure of what to do? If that's the case, then the scientists wouldn't have kept him until now. Smiling, Xander nods. That's why we need you. My skills are nothing compared to yours and Dr. Noah's. I can't be as meticulous and efficient as you. The restaurant owner brings out a bowl of sweet tofu pudding and places it in front of Zane. Carter laughs again. Dr. Noah thinks highly of you, you know. He would mention you to me and Will all the time back then. It made us really curious about you before we met. Eating a spoonful of his hot and spicy soup, he continues. You may not like Xander Sciences, but the patient is innocent, just like that dead dog. He also has families waiting for them. Take a look, Dr. Zane. It won't violate your medical ethics. 03. Undying Tree. The person Carter has been waiting for still hasn't stepped through the doors of Xander Sciences even after cabin 607's patient is brought into their operating room. 5 hours later, the less than successful surgery forced him to confront the gap between him and a genius once more. They worked on the theoretical model of this research back in school. He even outperformed Zane on this front. Yet when it comes to applying it, things never go smoothly. Why does he fall short compared to Zane? He desperately wants to know what Zane discovered and why he stopped researching it. Dr. Carter, Dr. Zane is here. Carter stiffens at the news. He quickly raises his head, masking his frustration. By the time he swivels around in his office chair and stands up, his usual confident demeanor is back. Xander Science's life pods look like enormous capsules with countless intertwined tubes connecting them to the surrounding equipment. Red tubes sucked away death while the blue ones inject new life. The daily cost of one device could burn through a month's worth of resources in a regular hospital's ICU. Xander Sciences has 15 of these. Outside of cabin 607's glass window, Zane stares at the patient who's soaking in the liquid, shriveled like a skeleton. Familiar, isn't it? Carter walks up to the cabin's exterior, crossing his arms and admiring the ward that looks straight out of a sci-fi movie. You're late. His heart regeneration failed, so we had to put a new one in to keep him going. How did you perform the surgery? You will know everything if you join us, though. Actually, you won't struggle with this conundrum. You might be the one most familiar with it. Zane being here means there's hope. Feeling he has the upper hand, Carter teases him. Remember the project we worked on for several years at school? The same one you stopped? I brought it to Xander Sciences. Now it has a name. Exart. Zane frowns. Have you conducted animal experiments with it? Of course we have completed all the standard procedures. Otherwise I wouldn't have invited you. When he admitted, he only had less than 6 months. It's been 2 years now. This is what I offered him, and he's happy to be a pioneer. But I get it. You're the genius here. I only implemented the genius's great ideas. After a moment of silence, Zane speaks again. Have you seen William since then? He died at Mount Eternal. You were closest to him in the team. Carter doesn't understand why Zane has to bring him up. After some thought, he guesses Zane wants to bring attention to his death. Mount Eternal, huh? The view's good, but there was an anomaly with the Wanderers a few years ago. Before he can finish, Zane gets up and leaves. Carter quickly follows him. Wait, aren't you here to join us? Zane keeps walking, pulling out his phone. I'm here to warn you. Hiding a Trojan horse in the medical record you sent can easily get you arrested. Carter watches as Zane walks further and further away, unmoving as always. His painstaking efforts are apparently worthless in Zane's eyes. In the empty corridor, Carter clenches his fists, unable to hold back his words. Zane, I'm giving you an opportunity. You better consider it. Our job is to save people. If we can't control life and death, why shouldn't we? Don't you remember what we fought every time a surgery failed? Give me another chance. I could save him if I had another chance. This is the chance we have always wanted. There is no we, Zane replies. Do you remember how happy everyone was when the experiment worked? It was like a message left by God, and how we can finally respond. Zane, do you believe in God? At the end of the corridor, Zane finally stops and looks back at him, his hands in his coat pockets. You're crazy. 04, gone. After leaving cabin 607, Zane walks to the elevator. The sound of rolling wheels comes from an unassuming door next to him. Through the small window, he can see a hallway. A metal cart used for waste disposal passes by. There's a lifeless hand poking out from under the white cloth. Make way, a simple-looking couple blocks the cart. The master researcher sounds exhausted and tries to push the cart forward. Isn't this what you agreed to when you accepted the Institute's donation? Once they select him, we have full usage and disposal rights. He's gone now, so there's no need to play the part of a dutiful parent. The woman tightly clutches the cart's iron rails. She's almost kneeling. But he's our son. Please let us see him one last time. We promise we won't tell anyone. Just so you know, he came straight from the operating table. He doesn't have a heart anymore. Do you still want to see him? Excuse me, Zane says as he opens the door. Could you leave him with me for a moment? Over the past few months, Zane has become well known at Xander Sciences, so the researcher recognizes him. All Zane wants is a clean room and a set of surgical tools. The researcher hesitates. It's a favor that can be easily granted. Alright, but no more than half an hour. After a while, the young man who had lost his heart finally appears before his parents in a clean, intact state. The father presses his forehead against the wall, his hand tightly clutched his chest as he bites his lips. The mother bends over the bed, her head buried deep in the white sheets. Moments pass, and then Zane hears her muffled sobbing. Son, we have come to say goodbye. In the surveillance room, Carter watches the whole thing through the screen. A smirk plays on his lips as he opens the comms. Zane, do you remember what we discussed before? We talked about it for a long time. In this era of technological advancement, why must we face death? On the screen, Zane slowly turns to the camera. Unfortunately, he's just too far away for Carter to see his expression. My perspective hasn't changed. You will face death eventually, one way or another. Then Zane glances at the couple. Just not like this. A few days later, Zane officially joins Exo's evil cardiac medical research lab as its principal investigator. The night before, Carter sent him a congratulatory message and told him about the death of the patient in cabin 607. His name was Felix, only 45 years old. He helped a lot of poor students during his lifetime, giving them a comfortable and affluent life. He also allowed them to participate in our great experiment near the end of their lives. What a shame. Despite Xander Sciences sparing no expense to keep him alive, he still passed away after 2 years. But don't you think this is just the beginning? Zane doesn't reply. Unsatisfied, Carter sends another picture. It's a failed attempt at resuscitating a patient in cabin 607. He lies on the floor outside the life pod, a cluster of black crystals blooming on the left side of his chest like a magnificent dahlia. Zane, if the person lying on the operating table was your lover, would you let her die? After that message, a thought hits Carter like the first drop of rain falling outside the window. He suddenly understands. Why go to such great lengths to persuade Zane? What he really needs is not a like-minded colleague, but a pair of hands. Ones that can carry out God's mission and allow for God's descent. Zane's hands. Carter remembers that Zane became a doctor because of a girl. A person like him wouldn't join Exo Hospital for no reason. He has to be taking over Dr. Noah's work. If he can see which cases are being transferred from Dr. Noah to Zane, he can find that girl. That's his trump card. And he thought so highly of Zane. As long as he has that mysterious girl, he knows he will always have those hands. In an instant, countless thoughts surge into Carter's brain like bubbles in a soda can. Maybe that girl is even more interesting than cabin 607's patients, considering how Dr. Noah and Zane seem to be unable to help her. Maybe her value to X-Heart would far exceed that of Zane's. Zane, you should know you're rejecting a path of life's truth. My answer hasn't changed either. I have always believed that death is just a small obstacle. It can be overcome in due time. Happy, Carter tosses his phone onto the carpet and spins in place. His horizons have expanded now that he's changed gears. He poured himself half a glass of red wine in celebration and raises it to the highest point of the city lights as it's soaked in heavy rain. A toast to humanity's greatest dream. In a dimly lit study, Zane reviews the patient records Dr. Noah transferred to him. He sees a name he knows all too well. He recalls the conversation he had with Carter back in med school. They sat across from each other at the restaurant. Zane had stared at his senior as he was about to eat. Even if we can avoid death, we will still need it, he had said. Now, Zane rubs his temples. He stares at the name for a long time. Then he takes off his glasses, leaning back slowly in his chair. As if life and space intertwined, Carter's indignant voice rings in his ears and questions him once more. Wouldn't you use everything in your power to prevent your loved ones from dying? Of course you would. Zane answered this question countless times in his heart, and no matter how many years have passed, his answer still hasn't changed. He would do everything he could to prevent her death and save her, but the night is long. The fog is dense. If the end of the road is truly what's left, Zane closes his eyes. At least he still has another option, his last one. And before the storm arrives, he hopes he can walk a little further on this rugged path. He could also hold her hand and resist the avalanche-like onslaught of selfish wishes together.